Hi, how's it going? Welcome to my video book review of Strategy Planning and Litigating to Win by A S Dreier. Mr. Dreier is a lieutenant colonel in the Army JAG Corps, so he's a lawyer with the Army essentially. And this book is his culmination of, as it says here, systems theory, psychology, military science, and utility theory, and how he can wrap all that stuff up to orchestrate a trial outcome. So basically he's taking all of these different fields, psychology, military science, all that kind of stuff, wraps it all up and talks about how you can apply that in your trials. So I was really interested in reading about this, or reading this book, when I first heard about it. It has only a couple Amazon reviews, so I didn't really know what was coming up when I first got it, what it was going to really be about. Watched a couple of his videos on YouTube, decided to give it a try. My background coming into this is I've read tons of books on, I love World War II history books, love Civil War books, history books all in general. Read books on military science. I've read Karl von Clausewitz's On War. I've read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I've read Machiavelli. I've read a whole bunch of these things, and I wanted to see what he had to say, Mr. Dreier had to say about all that. I've also read stuff on psychology too. And I am a lawyer, so I wanted to see how, if there's something here that I'm missing, maybe I can use a little bit of my military knowledge, knowledge to help me become a better lawyer. So what did I get out of this? I read this one time, and let me tell you that this thing is chock full of stuff. There's no way you're going to read this once and get everything out of it. I did, though, get a few good quotes, good ideas out of it, and let me talk to you about some of those specific ones. So the way I like to read my books is when I read them, if I find something that's interesting, I will highlight it and stick a little tab on the corner of it so that I can come back later and take notes out of it. I also write notes for myself in there, a whole bunch of stuff. So let me read to you a couple of them that I thought were particularly good. This is on page 6, so this is right out of the gate, right? He writes, and this is in the footnote, subduing the enemy is never the goal. The strategically minded attorney will focus on achieving his purpose, not on fighting his opponent. Bam! He comes right out of the gates with that. I don't know how many times I see it, and I'm even, I know that it's there, and I'm still susceptible to it, where you see the lawyer just wanting to beat the other lawyer up in the, obviously not the literal sense, or perhaps maybe some lawyers want to beat up other lawyers in the literal sense, but they just want to prove themselves right, or they want to prove the other guy wrong. That's not the goal. The goal is to win, right? So why file a motion? Why ask that question? Why belabor a point if it's not going to help you win? And he comes right out of the gate and really lays down that groundwork. Let's move on to another one. Let's see here. Oh, this is good. Talking about setting the goal or the outcome that you're trying to achieve, and setting like a strategic vision. This is on page 56. The desired end state was no more specific than necessary. It did not dictate which crimes he must be convicted of or how witnesses would testify. It was just a bare minimum reality that would realize his criteria because, as just discussed, in relation to purpose, unnecessary restrictions reduce valuable freedom of action while gaining us no benefit. So he's not, what he's saying here is, don't saddle yourself up with all these goals. Have a specific goal, and you don't have to try to say, well, I want this witness to admit this, or I want that one to admit this, and I want blah, 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 blah. Make a nice, easy, light goal for yourself, or let's see, how do I want to put it? Make a goal for yourself that doesn't constrict you, where you don't have all of these little things you need to accomplish. Because when you have all these little things that you need to accomplish, it restricts your freedom of movement, like he's saying here. If you have to make sure that this witness testifies and says such and such, then you're constricting yourself, because if that witness doesn't say it, you haven't met your goal, right? So what he's trying to say is, try to keep it broad. And Napoleon was really good for this. He would just give his generals really broad goals, say like maybe attack the right flank, attack the left flank, I want you to be here. And he would leave it up to his subordinates or his the other generals to figure out how they're going to best get there, how they're going to do that. This is also really good for managing attorneys. Say you're the main managing attorney on something, and you say to a associate attorney, I want you to write request to produce, and the main goal is X. That allows that associate attorney to do whatever he feels and use his creativity, his experience, knowledge, all that, to accomplish X through his motion or whatever he's trying to do. That's just a couple of them. Again, you're not going to get everything out of this in the first read through. He really does talk about some really advanced stuff, and while I know a lot of what he was talking about, a lot of it I also didn't know. So yeah, you definitely have to read this more than once. What are some pros or cons to this book? Well, the con is that you have to have, I believe, a little bit of a background with some of these things, because he talks about the OODA loop. That's Boyd's OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. If you don't know what that is, you should probably at least Wikipedia it, or if you come across other terms in here that you don't know, you should Wikipedia those just so you have an idea of what they're about. He does try to explain it, but these are, really advanced stuff, really advanced concepts. It's hard to just grasp it in a few pages. The pros, though, is it is chock full of really good, helpful tips, helpful ideas. If nothing else, it makes your mind kind of expand a little bit to think about all these things. Who should read it? Basically, if you're a trial lawyer, I think this would be really good for you. If you're trying to figure out how you can best present your cases in front of juries, in front of judges, whatever, I think trial lawyers especially would get a lot out of this, or managing attorneys in general too, that do have associate attorneys underneath them. What would you get out of it? It's basically the same thing as I did, just trying to help you set better goals, set better strategies, how to incorporate these things into, how to incorporate military science, systems theory into your litigation strategies. And that's essentially it. I really do highly recommend this one. Again, it's a little drier. It's harder to get through because it does deal with such advanced topics and advanced things, but it is good, and I really do recommend it. So that's Strategy, Planning, and Litigating to Win by A S Dreier. So with all that being said, please go down below. Please click the thumbs up button. That's the like button. That lets other people know that this is a good video, and it does that I explain a lot about strategy, planning, and litigating to win, to try to give other people an idea of whether they should buy it or not. Also, leave some comments down below if you've read the book, or if you have other questions. Be more than happy to answer them. Also, if you think these formats, if I should be answering other questions in my video book reviews, let me know about that too. And finally, subscribe. Not only do I have a lot of these book reviews on here, I've also got other videos on legal writing, on just the law in general, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of other stuff too. So be sure to subscribe too. And finally, if you're interested in buying this, you can go down below. There's also going to be a little link down there to the Amazon page for this thing. You can go ahead and click that. It'll bring you to Amazon where you can buy this. Now, in the effort of full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so I get a small percentage of whatever you buy on there. It doesn't add anything to your cost or anything like that, but I do get a small cut. If you're not interested in clicking that link, that's fine. Just go to Amazon anyway and buy it if you are interested, because I really do recommend it, and I really do think it's a good book. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.